A couple of months ago, Ping released their latest offering for 2019, the Ping G410 Plus Driver. Now, we have the latest offering for 2019, the Ping G410 LST Driver. I think we're gonna have to put them head to head, aren't we? Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel, and second of all, please take a second to hit that subscribe button before you leave. On this channel, I bring you guys daily golf-related content to help you raise your game, lower your handicap, and hopefully enjoy your golf just that tiny loads bit more. In today's video, I'm testing the Ping G410 Plus Driver against the Ping G410 LST Driver. We're going to see what the differences are. We're going to see if it's worth changing from the G410 to the G410 LST. I really hope you don't need to be changing from the G410 to the G410 LST because that can get fairly expensive. But if you're in the market for a new driver and you're in the market for a low spin driver, make sure you go check out my video. I've literally just filmed it, so that's going to be on the channel before this one. A full review of the Ping G410 LST. This is a comparison between them both. Good start with the standard. So guys, I have both these drivers in 9 degrees of loft. I have them both in the Project X 6.0 even flow shaft, and both of them are set at completely neutral standard weight setting, standard loft, standard everything. Both of the drivers come with the octagonal hosel. The head comes all the way off, so don't feel like I've broken this one here. You get 8 different settings on here, including loft up, loft down, and you can even put the driver flatter to try and get rid of that left side of the golf course. Settings you can play around with vary between 1 degree up, 1 degree down, 1.5 degrees up and 1.5 degrees down. I'm going to show you 10 shots with both of these drivers. We're going to look at spin rates, we're going to look at ball speeds, we're going to look at distances. I'm also going to look at just how accurate I am with them. Potentially the LST could be a tiny bit less accurate than the standard G410. G410, is that right? G410? One of the main differences you can see visually, especially from down at address, is the head size of these two drivers. It's not hugely noticeable, but the LST definitely looks a little bit smaller, a little bit sleeker due to its 450cc head as opposed to the 460cc head on the G410 Plus. As you can see here, the LST is also a tiny bit deeper in the face, and if I had to choose one just by looking at them, for me it would be the LST all day long. It just looks that little bit smaller, that little bit nicer to look at. Although the standard G410 isn't one of those drivers that looks absolutely massive like a frying pan and is a little bit off-putting. Some of them are like that, this one isn't. Although looking down at the ball, if you do want that extra little bit of confidence, the G410 Plus definitely gives you that. It's just that bit bigger at the ball. Okay, you get it. The G410's bigger, the LST's smaller. Let's leave that one be. It will be really interesting to see which tour players choose the standard G410 and which tour players choose the G410 LST. Let's not forget, the Ping G400 was an outstanding driver. The G400 Max was amazing, it was so forgiving, it was brilliant, it was huge. Most people could hit it very, very well. The G400 LST, I know, is still in a couple of tour players' bags because they loved it that much. So how are these things gonna do? I've got to say the G410 for me looks way better than its predecessor, the G400. Now, funnily enough, I'm really pleased I've hit that shot. Not because I wanted to hit a bad shot on camera, but I hit the same shot with the G410 LST here. No, there's the one. and it sort of finished pretty much exactly the same. And you may recall in the G410 LS review, I wanted to know what would happen if I made that swing with the standard G410. Now we know. Now obviously this is human testing, it's not machine testing, so it all comes down to the swings that I put on these golf clubs personally. We're going to hit a few more shots, guys, then we're going to take a look at the numbers for both. What would you expect to see? Hit those comments below. Are you expecting to see the G410 Plus go better, further, higher, straighter? What are you expecting to see from the LS Tech? Are you expecting to see that 300, 400, 500 RPM lower spin? That's as good as it gets, that really is. So apart from just the sizing these drivers, there are other minute aesthetical changes. We have a silver line on the toe of the LS Tech as opposed to the red line that's on the toe of the standard G400. You'll see that theme continues onto the sole plate, so we have a silver sole plate for the LS Tech and a red sole plate for the G410. And obviously we have it pointing out that it is a low spin driver and the Plus driver on the bottom. Apart from that, both clubs have the heat-treated forged titanium face. Both clubs have the aerodynamic turbulators on top. Both clubs feature the Dragonfly technology, which is now under the hood instead of on top visually on the crown. Both clubs have the movable weights that Ping have featured for the first time. And one aspect which I absolutely love, both clubs have these cool little kind of speed stripes on the back, again for aerodynamics in the takeaway. Okay, last shot before we take a look at the numbers. That is 10 shots hit with the Ping G410 LS Tech and the standard Ping G410 Plus. I think it's about time we took a look at the differences. Now, dispersion wise, there's really not much split in these. So we've got the Plus there, LS Tech, Plus, LS Tech. You can see definitely that Plus is peaking that little bit higher than the LST. Isn't it amazing how you get one rogue shot in all of them? Damn it. Let's start with the standard G410 Plus. Distance is all fairly consistent, a couple of rogue ones in there, and again, real kind of bad one there that's going to bring the averages down. But average 264. What's happened to my club head speed? Club head speed 108 with a ball speed of 155.8 on average, spinning at 2876. This could get interesting. So what about now if we shoot over to the LS Tech? Now these are the numbers that I used in my review of the LS Tech because I wanted to keep it as fair and consistent as I could. And I felt like this was a really good set of numbers to judge on. Interestingly, again there we have a real rogue one, number 5 as opposed to number 7. I think they're very, very similar. Average distance, 266. So there's 2 yards on it there as opposed to the standard G410. Club head speed lower at 106 and ball speed higher at 156, which is pretty impressive really. Spin 2709 on the LS Tech as opposed to 2876 on the G410 Plus. So essentially there, I guess what we have to conclude with this video and what we have to say is the Ping G410 LS Tech does exactly what it says on the tin. If you're looking at a low spin driver and you think you need a low spin driver and you've been on a launch monitor and you know you need a low spin driver, you will know that a low spin driver can only make so much difference. There's high spin numbers in there for both clubs, there's low spin numbers in there for both clubs, but for me, over 20 shots, 10 with each, there was 176-ish, I think I remember that right, 176 RPM difference over 2,700 and about 2,870 odd. That's pretty impressive. I think it's consistent, it does what it says. I wouldn't expect much more. I think maybe if you're looking to lower your spin even more than that, you probably need to go and take a few lessons. You probably need to go and work on your game a little bit, try and work on the technique so that the spin rate is lower. But for me, does the Ping G410 LS Tech low spin technology do what it needs to do? Does it do what it says it does? Yes, it lowers the spin rate from the standard Ping G410. Aesthetics wise, I think I probably prefer it as well. I do prefer that smaller head. The 450cc head is just a nice size package as opposed to the 460cc head, which does look a little bit bigger, although if you are a mid to high handicap, if you're just starting out, the PING G410 does look a lot more inviting to hit than the PING G410 LS Tech. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed that. Both these clubs were a pleasure to hit. If you're new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the content, and only if you've enjoyed the content. Comment below which one would you have in your bag, guys, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.